Welcome to Baddie, a monthly podcast by For the Breast of Us, the first breast cancer community for all women of color, where we share real-life experiences, information, and education to help you live your best life after a breast cancer diagnosis.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Ebony, a.k.a. Miss Hustling Hills, better known as your Hustling Baddie. And I want to welcome you guys to another edition of Love and Cancer Friendship Edition, brought to you by For the Breast of Us, a breast cancer community for women of color. We are out here supporting, loving, and educating the breast cancer community. Now, today, guys, you are in for a treat. If you've been listening to some of the other episodes, you know we have been talking about friendships and supports by friends. But today, guys, we have some special friends, but they just so happen to be a couple. I want you guys to welcome, first and foremost, we're going to talk to our breastie, Wendy, and she's going to let us know about her journey, and then she's going to introduce her partner. So let's get started. All righty. Hello, Wendy.
Hello, how are you, Ebony?
I am doing great.
Good.
So, usually we bring the other people into frame, but you have your sports team with you. So, before me and you get started, go ahead and introduce.
This is my fiancé, Mr. Dion Lee.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
All right. Well, hello, Dion. It is nice to meet you. All right. So, Wendy, I always start saying this is a club we don't want to be a part of. We never wanted to be a part of, but now we're in it. We're going to make the best of it.
Yes.
So, how did you find out you had breast cancer?
Okay. When I tell my testimony or give my story of breast cancer, I always say my mom having breast cancer saved my life. Because if she did not have it, I would not have known to regularly check. I was diagnosed when I was 36. I had my first mammogram when I was 35. So her having it, I was constantly checking it. I was on vacation with a couple of girlfriends, and I had noticed a couple of little bitty knots in my right breast and didn't pay attention to it. Didn't want to alarm anyone. We're on vacation. So as soon as I got back, I did make an appointment to get it checked, and my doctor wanted me to do a biopsy. I did a biopsy on June the 6th of 2012. June 8th, 2012, I found out I had breast cancer. Fast forward a week past that, I met with my doctor for the first time, and he suggested that I get a double mastectomy. So I had a double mastectomy and I got replacements. And my main frame at that time was, if this is going to save my life, take them. I'll get some new ones. So it's not
Right.
a big deal at all. So I was all for getting the new ones anyway. So I had my surgery on June 26th of 2012. And I do have to tell you a story about my surgery. When I talked with my breast doctor, I said, now, I have a concert planned. Will I still be able to go to this concert? And it was New Edition.
Yeah, you got it.
So you already know. Yes, say less. So he was like, yes, you will be able to go. So I had my surgery on Tuesday, June the 26th of 2012. That Sunday, I was at the New Edition concert on the second row. So yes. And it will be 11 years for me this June. So
amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
I love to hear those types of stories.
Yes, God
for
is good.
Sure. Oh, yes, he is. He is definitely a keeper. I tell you.
He is.
So now you find out, like, who is like the first people that you tell?
Well, the doctor actually called me, and my first thoughts were like, this is so informal. They're calling me on the phone to tell me that I have breast cancer, and I'm just like, that's rude. But
Right.
I mean, my mind is in a million different places. The first person I called was my mom, and I boo-hooed to her. And my mom gave me one day to feel sorry for myself. And that next day, she was like, look, you're going to have to get yourself together. We are
Hmm.
going to fight this with God. We don't know what's going on, but I do know with God in our corner, we're going to fight this. And after that, I've
Amen.
just been, yeah.
Amen. See, look, come on, mom. Look, mom said, here's the word. Look, let's
Yes, she
go.
don't play. She does not play. She still don't play. So,
Amen. I love that. So now your support team, right?
mhm.
Like, because everybody knows that, we go through physical changes, but like I always look at, no matter what stage, it's more mental and emotional than anything.
It
So
is.
your support system, who was your support system during that time?
First, family, friends. At the time that I was going through it, I didn't have a significant other. So, just family and friends being the main support system, co-workers, and then my breast cancer survivor sisters, they became my breasties. So it's like it's a whole community, of us. And it's like so much love when you go to different places and meet different women who's been affected by this. You're thankful. You see
Mm-hmm.
that some may not have had the same pathway that you had, but you guys are still connected by this. So it's been an experience. So
I love that. I love that. So how does Mr. Dion play into the mix?
I met Mr. Dion June 10th of 2021. And from the jump, he has been so supportive in whatever I do. And just, I mean, I will allow him to, explain how he's been supportive to me because he can explain better than I can.
And meeting
Okay.
and meeting Wendy, and you're having discussions, you get to know one another, you talk about
Mm-hmm.
various things, and that was one of the topics we discussed. And me just being a supporter of breast cancer, I do the walks, the runs. I have a few
Mm-hmm.
family members that are survivors as well. Um, and just learning her, guess her battle, her fight.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, to me, are always you're still fighting, even though things are you're healthy and lab results and things are negative. But to me, it's still an ongoing fight. Um,
Right.
and I just try to support Wendy and I mean everything she does. And definitely when it comes to anything involving breast cancer, we attended. I think about was it how long ago was it
It was in
the breast
October, I
cancer
believe.
gala?
Mhm.
It was like formal. It was really nice. We dressed formal, but we everyone wore sneakers. It was
Oh,
like
so
a
you guys
sneaker
were at the
gala.
sneaker ball?
We were at the
Yes.
sneaker ball.
Oh,
Yes.
how did I miss y'all? Wow.
We were there. We were
Mhm.
there, and
Wow.
we had an amazing
We
time.
did.
It
But
was an
kind of
amazing
piggybacking
time.
off of what Dion said, I mean, he's been instrumental. I'm in Texas, but I kept my doctors in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
He's driven me to my past two appointments for the past 2 years because my exams are yearly now. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a blessing.
Yes.
Before it was like every 3 months, then every six
Mm-hmm.
months, and now it's every year. So just supportive, taking me to the appointments, making sure that I have anything that I need while I'm waiting, constantly just uplifting. Just, I mean,
We actually
he's,
just got back last night
yeah.
from Arkansas.
I had
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I had my exam yesterday, so negative results, still cancer free. So yes.
Yes.
Thank God. Yes.
Yes. I love that.
Friday.
Yeah, we left. Yeah, we left Friday, headed to Arkansas, so I could make my appointment yesterday. So
That is so beautiful to see.
yeah,
Because the thing is, you give the single ladies out here hope because, going through all that mental and emotional and physical work.
and
So
yeah,
it can be taxing on your
it's
mind, and then
depressing. And I really didn't realize that I was actually going through depression with it. Being diagnosed, you really don't realize how it affects you until you have time to think. When you have time to think, so many things go on in your head, and you're just like, I really feel like I'm stuck. But meeting him has it's opened up a whole bunch for me.
I admire you guys' strength and all, just because I feel I'm a really strong-willed person, but receiving news like that, I probably would have given up. I would have needed someone to tell me, "Hey, we're gonna fight this," but I probably just threw it all out the window, because that's everyone is not as blessed to fight that battle. So
right. So, question: how did you all meet? How did y'all meet? Let's talk about that story. Like, where'd y'all meet
We met June, of course, June 2021. We met in New Orleans. We were both on vacation I was with one of my associates, and he was with a lot of his guy friends, and he's originally from DC. So they were celebrating one of his friends from DC's birthday. And me and my friend, we walked into Oceana Grill, and we sat our table was here, his table was to the left of us, and I love to eat everywhere I go. And if it's a question that I have about food, I'm going to ask. And his table were eating some greens, and they looked good. And I was like, how are those greens? So the conversation started from there. And from the time we left the restaurant until today, constant contact. And I actually moved to Houston in July, the month after we met. So I moved to Houston, and we've been together ever since.
That is such a beautiful story.
for
Y'all
me-
better go get
for
y'all
me-
greens.
Exactly. And for me, I was sitting at the table with the guys. I noticed her when she came in, and I kind of halted the table. I said, "Hey, my wife just walked in."
Oh, wow.
They were like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah." So they came in, they put their name. I guess they were inquiring on the weight and all of that. So they left back out. So I was like, "Oh, they're probably going to go somewhere else." So I didn't pay any more attention to it. I started, getting back involved with my guys, and they came back in, and he sat them next to us. So I said, here's my moment." So my boy, my boy, my boy was like, "You want me to run interference on our friend?" I said, "Yeah." And here we are today.
That is funny, but a blessing.
It is.
All wraps in one.
Yeah.
Y'all better start going to these restaurants asking what's on the menu, y'all.
Exactly. You never know what kind of conversation is going to spark up. So, hey, almost 2 years later, and we're here. So
2 years.
That is such a blessing.
So, yeah.
So when did the conversation come up? Because I've had a chance to be on several podcasts, and it's just something that we kind of talk about in our community. When you're dating someone, when do you let them know, "Hey, I went through breast cancer"? Because for some people who doesn't have any experience with it, they're just like, "Oh, well, you're well. Okay, cool." They don't really know.
And
they don't know the ins and outs of it. But
Yeah.
some of those who may have had sisters, aunts, grandmothers, something, who has had it or has had it and passed away, they tend to shy away. So when did that conversation come up, and how did it start?
I think we met in New Orleans, and then she had a prior engagement in Houston before we even met. So she came for that function, and we kind of hung out. And then the following weekend, we met up in Dallas to hang out with each other. So that was our first time to really be around each other, no distractions. We had our own time, and so we were hanging out. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a quick photo shoot," you know. And she was looking all nice and all. So I took some photos and all, and she made a post. And I saw the post, and she was saying, "I just want to celebrate my, I think was it 9 years?
Yeah,
it was 9 year being cancer free." And I just looked at her like,
like what?
"Free of what?" So we got into a conversation, and I could just like, you listening, but at the same time, only thing is in my mind is that I don't know how I would have handled or comprehended that type of news, And then further in the conversation, finding out that her mom is a survivor, and I can't put a level on the strength that you guys exemplify with that battle. It's just it's so hard, and I'm sure there are millions that get the news and do give up, but for whatever's placed in you guys, by God, that will and that strength to fight, is just, I can't even describe the words for fighting that battle. So,
and see, for me, I'm thinking long term down the line, like, what if this really works with us? And I'm thinking of intimacy. And well, I don't know if I can say this or not, but
no, go ahead.
Of course, I did get my both my breasts removed, but I had the reconstruction, so I have implants, but I don't have nipples.
Okay.
So one of the things was like, is he gonna look at me? Is he gonna look at me funny, or is he gonna look at them and think like, oh, it looks, it looks horrible, but no, because I mean that does kind of weigh on you because you're not.
You feel you're not normal.
Yeah, you because it doesn't look normal. So and I have to look at it every day, and I'm still, sometimes it still catches me, and I'm like, but I'm here, so that's the important thing. So I mean, I can get them covered up, I can get them tattooed, whatever. So
I mean, and they're actually nice the way. I mean, if I may say, they're nice the way they are.
Thank you, baby.
They're really, I mean, they're nice.
I love it.
I have no complaints.
He said,
I'm good.
So, Wendy, what has the difference been? I am loving this conversation with you. Okay, so what has the difference been? Like, you had your very strong, your support team when you were going through the battle, right? And safe. So what has it been like? Because people think, oh, I'm cancer free, but they don't realize, some people on the outside world don't realize, once you get that diagnosis, it's still continued every day. Every day. Every day is something.
Yeah.
It's, if you feel something, and it could be just a mosquito bite, and it's just like, oh God,
that just happened. That just happened to me, and I was so terrified. I was like, because after that 10 mark, like that 10 mark period, it's like the chance of it coming back is greater. And I'm just like, I made my 10 mark, and I'm gonna get it again. And it was a red mark, but it was an insect. It was an insect bite, but you're
freak out quickly.
Yeah, you're constantly touching, constantly rubbing, like, and if you notice the slightest difference, that mind is going, and it's
gone.
It's hard to to settle down and come back from that. But once I am able to do that, I'm okay. But I mean, it's still it's a battle. It's going to be a constant battle.
And so, what has it been like having that strong support team in the beginning, of course, but now having a significant other that is with you constantly, wants to know your ins and outs, and there to support you fully, no matter what? Because like mom can is good, best friend's good, but that partner is something different. How has that been?
I actually thank God for it because, I'm not having to go through it by myself. So just imagine if I moved here and he wasn't here and we were not together. So it's it's a comfort, it's relief. I don't have to stress about it. It's like it's supposed to be like I have somebody supporting me finally. That's not family. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's that's the biggest thing because I did worry about that. I'm like, will I be lonely for the rest of my life? Will
Right.
I ever find someone? But
I can see that, not having kids.
yeah. And say I don't have any kids, so yeah.
Okay. So have you all talked about that? Like, how has that been an impact?
Kids.
Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey, I'm not having none. I'm 47, so
I was gonna say I got a
no,
couple.
ma'am.
You want some? Look, I need.
No, ma'am. we're getting a dog, and that is it. No, ma'am.
I have two adult children back in my home.
Okay.
2 girls, 30 and 27.
Mm-hmm.
We're good on the kid thing. We'll get a dog, but
And so, being someone who's gone through breast cancer and he has daughters, have you been able to like talk to them about it and express like this is the importance? Because as we know, like your mom went through it, but like a lot of people, they don't have a family history of breast cancer. So have you been like making them aware of like, hey, this can happen to
Anybody.
you?
Yeah, anybody. I don't care how old they are, especially in the African American female community, because we will not go get checked. And I don't know how many times
Male
I've
too.
seen, male too. I don't know how many times I've seen women in their 20s twice diagnosed, and even 30s, like early 30s. And I tell everybody, hey, if you need to say that you have a family member who is suffering from this, just so your doctor will give you a referral to go get checked, get checked. Get checked. So it's important because we have the worst fatality rate with this disease.
Right.
And talking to some family members, like they still won't go get checked. And
right.
It's 3 family members in my family that that have gone through it, and it's like pulling teeth to get them to just listen to you. Look at me. I have gone through it. Your aunt has gone through it. Your other aunt has gone through it. So just
to me on the outside, because I am on the outside looking in, it seems that you just can't stress it enough. You can't educate people enough, because you could be out there 25 hours a day and you just still feel like you're not getting out enough information, or you're not, able to motivate people to go get checked. I don't know what it is about humans and doctors. I know sometimes it can be a lot of pain depending on situation. We just won't do it. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe you need to go see a shrink.
Well,
we don't want to do that, and then we don't want to go see the doctor.
We don't want to do that either.
We don't want to do that either.
But
they're just like, I'm good. My granny said.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need
I get that. I get what granny said, but you still need to go get checked out.
It's some strategies you can use that granny don't know about, though. So.
Exactly. So what is next for you guys?
We're going to get married within the next 60 days. Within 60 days?
Yeah. 60 days.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were going, I'll be 52 this year. So I was married before. I've been divorced about 13 years, and I knew I wanted to marry Wendy. So I was like, hey, you want to get married? I mean, I didn't do it like that.
Did you do
it? I waited till a good opportunity to be in Arkansas around her family. It was actually Thanksgiving last year. So that was a good opportunity for me to propose. But long story short, by me being down that road before,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you want to get married? Yeah, we got. I'm cool with justice of the peace, but I had to think and say she's never been married. I didn't want to deprive, strip her of that. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
plan this ordeal, it's on you. I don't have no issue with that. Um, but I also wanted her to know that before we start stressing on the actions and confirmations of others, we can shut it down. We can do justice of the peace because we still have to have a celebration in 2 states. She's from
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas, I'm from Washington, D.C. So we still gotta try to implement family in the celebration
Mm-hmm.
somehow. So I think over the last 10 days, we probably been she's been more like, I can just do justice of the peace. I'm
It's
just
been a
like,
headache.
yeah. And for me, I was like, I have this website, hey guys, I need a picture of you guys. I need a casual to business professional picture of you for the website. One guy sent me a selfie. He's in the mirror. You can see the mirror with him holding the phone, taking.
Oh, Father God.
And I'm still waiting on pictures from the
Do you
other 3
hear
guys.
me?
And I'm like, and I told Wendy, I said, as something as small as this, I can't get
Just a
people to do.
picture.
I'm not going to put a lot of money into people falling through and stuff like that when we can,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of things we want to do
Mm-hmm.
after the wedding. We want to
Right.
get a dog, we want to build a house, so
That money can be put forth back because my attitude with the whole process has been
super excited in the beginning.
I was so excited in
Oh,
the
she was
beginning.
on
Just
Pinterest,
I was on Pinterest
everything, like
every day,
all
like
day, every
looking.
day. Now it's
But
like,
see, my niece is helping me, so she's doing a lot of the planning for the different events.
Mm-hmm.
And for them not to respond to her, I was like, okay, I'm gonna shut this down. So
Yeah.
and that's what we've been in the process of doing. We actually have an appointment with the Galveston County judge so we can get our wedding on the book. So yeah.
Well, that is good because at the end of the day, it's a celebration of you two.
Mm-hmm.
It's a celebration of your life,
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, and a celebration
yes,
of y'all's
indeed.
life together.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll leave it at that because I
Mm-hmm.
have other, but we gonna keep it.
Keep it keeping.
I understand. Trust me, because I was just like, there's no way in the world I'm about to be stressed out. I was like, no, we will make it intimate. So, and I like that a whole lot better too. So, and plus
Right.
I saw another prettier dress that I wanted.
And you don't need to be stressed. Y'all don't
Exactly.
need to be stressed.
Exactly.
Stress is a killer.
It is.
It is.
So my last question, and that I always love to ask. Okay, so when you think of the word love, because the title of this is Love and Cancer, when you hear the word, well, finish this sentence. Love is. What comes to mind?
Want me? Oh.
I go first. Love is sacrifice.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I would say that because you definitely have to come to medians, which sometimes they can be so difficult to reach. I think we make them more difficult. I think we make relationships more difficult than they have to be. Um, I feel that when you've been in a few and either you messed up or you didn't, each one is a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you should take something from it into the next. And I just think love is, well, not think, but it is sacrifice, and it is to accept like the person for whoever they are. They may have a handicap, they may not be the best with money.
Why'd you lean over here when you did that?
My bad. You have to balance each other.
Right.
And
right.
I think a lot of people are quick to just give up on it, give up on relationships, and it's not like our grandparents' time, and they're the first to tell you that, it ain't always been peachy. Most people's grandparents, granddads probably got kids on the grandmom, but they stuck it out,
Right.
They hung in there, and they'll tell you, "Hey, I love him. He's no good, dirty, whatever, but I love him." We made 50 years, 60 years,
Right.
And I think nowadays it's more on just status. I think people
Yeah.
marry for status and for title,
Yep.
and they just
And
don't.
pictures on Instagram.
Social media influencers, yes. Not social media influencers, but they do it. They do it for the gram.
Mm-hmm.
They do it for the gram. Yeah.
So, to me, that love is, it can be it's a lot, and it's not always happy and fun, But you just got to learn how to get back to what brought you together in the first place. So that's what me and Wendy always try to do, because we had some knockdown drag outs, but it was early. We met, we fell for each other. We both were looking for something serious. We weren't looking for it at that time, but it presented itself. So having this thing, these feelings, and I'm like, well, I need to see you a little more often, and maybe you should think about moving to Houston. And she did. Actually, it's probably one of my best birthday gifts. She moved. We met June 10th, 21. She moved to Houston with me on July 9th, which is my birthday.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just a happy birthday.
I'm here.
Surprise!
Yeah. And you know what? Ebony, a lot of people be like, you can say you move, oh, you're moving fast, you're moving this. Everyone's different. I'm 51, so I know what I want. You can't put a time on it. Some people fall in love in 24 hours. Some people fall in love 6 months. It's just, everybody's different.
You know.
And it doesn't take that much time. So
when you know.
Yeah, you don't have to string nobody along for no 7-8 years and all that.
Yeah.
You wake up next to them a couple of times,
Like, I don't want to do this no more.
You know what? I'm good with this thing life.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much.
Thank
you for having us.
It has been a pleasure to spend with you guys. And I just want you all to know that this is what we need to see. Not only just in the breast cancer community, because you give a lot of single ladies who have went through it, ladies who was probably married and went through a divorce during that time. You give them hope to possibly find love again in their new normal. As we're still getting adjusted.
Trying to adjust, yes, constantly.
Adjustment. Yeah.
But not only that, you give hope to the people of color, especially the African American, community, because they need to see what real love is. And love, like, she may not be like, or the supermodel that you might see on you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
But I'm still willing to love you despite your flaws and all, no matter whether it's him or whether it's her. So you guys actually, like, you give other couples and other people who they really want love. You actually give them hope. So I want to thank you all
so
much. So much.
You're very welcome.
And I want to thank you guys for joining us for another wonderful edition of Love and Cancer. It has been beautiful. Make sure you share this podcast. Like, keep on sharing with all your friends and family. Like, listen to it like 80 times.
85.
I want to thank you guys on behalf of For the Rest of Us. I am your host, as always, Miss Ebony, aka Miss Hustle and Heels.
Miss
AKA your
Ebony.
hustling baddie. And until next time, guys, I'll see you. Bye bye.
Bye.